Welcome to another super episode on your program, Make Your Food Your Medicine. My name is Itoro Ebright, your kitchen instructor, food as medicine specialist, and author of the fast-selling book, Make Your Food Your Medicine. In this one-of-a-kind culinary show, our aim is to promote healthy living through healthy eating. If you don't take care of yourself, where will you live? And like they say, if you don't make your food your medicine, you may eventually have to make your medicine your food. So people think healthy food is boring, and that's why we're bringing you many varieties. If you've been following this program, you will see that we'll be showing you many things that is possible with the ingredients you have. It's a unique program because you notice we cook with very natural ingredients. We rarely go artificial. That's because we understand that the more natural we go, the healthier we become. So today, I'm making a very popular delicacy. We already know this delicacy, but today we are making this delicacy without any form of artificial seasoning. And let's see how it goes. And then you're going to also be the judge when you try this at home. So very quickly, we are going into the kitchen and the cooking proper. So here I have my pot, and we're making OFADA rice and OFADA stew. Now, for this particular recipe, most of us know that for the OFADA stew, we need to bleach our palm oil for so long before we eventually continue to fry the sauce. But because of the aim of this program, we are not doing that today. We have said that when it comes to oil, it's even the best kind of oil is better to be eaten in very minimal quantity. And then we also have said over and over in this program that the longer you fry your oil, the more you lose the nutrients in them. So what's our encouragement? Fry less. If possible, don't even fry at all. And that's why today we're going to make this in a very different way. But I promise you, it's going to be as interesting and as exciting as the one that you know, if not better. Okay, so here we have the palm oil. Our pot is dry and we're ready to put the palm oil into the pot. So we're going to have this. I already told us that we aren't bleaching our oil, unlike the regular OFADA recipe, that we are not bleaching our oil. Now, because we are not bleaching our oil, we want it to still have that OFADA look, that OFADA taste. So we're going to do something a bit tricky. Okay, so we're going to perform a little kitchen trick here. A trick that is good. It's not a bad trick, you know. So here we have the oil, and then I want it to look like it's bleached. So instead of using only palm oil, we're adding olive oil. So we're adding olive oil to it, and then at the end of the day, it gives our palm oil a lighter color. It gives it a lighter color, so the oil is almost looking bleached. It's not going to look as red as it would have looked if we didn't bleach it. Now, because we're talking about healthy eating, I would encourage you, when you want to buy palm oil, ensure you are buying unadulterated palm oil. Farmyard palm oil, which is what we have at Ibom Sauce. If you want one, you can order one and we can send to you. We have unadulterated direct from the farm palm oil that would also be very useful for your cooking. So endeavor not to buy adulterated palm oil. So here we have a mix of bell pepper, but I don't want this to be on the fire for too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and then I'll keep explaining to us. So we have chopped onions. If you have been following this program, you would have heard me say over and over again that whenever you're cooking, use a lot of onions. Onions is a natural sweetener for your meals. Unfortunately, some people have not discovered this. Now, it's not just about onions being a natural sweetener. It's also about the fact that onions is filled with so many antioxidants. In fact, it contains about 24 flavonoids antioxidants that is very useful for your body. It has cancer-fighting components, and it's something that you should eat a lot more often. So, when next you're using onions, be very generous about it. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. So here you have it. The onions is frying. And then I'm going to add my Iru locust beans at this point. Why am I adding my locust beans at this point? I want the aroma from the locust beans. When you add the locust beans directly into the palm oil, there's this aroma that, you know, accompanies it. And I don't want to lose that. So that's why I'm adding it direct. And I'm going to allow this fry for about a minute or two before I'm going to add any other thing. Locust beans, good for aids digestion, and then very useful for our body. Unfortunately, this is one thing that we don't even eat often. Let me ask you a question. Before the invention of artificial seasoning for meals, what were our grandparents and forefathers using to cook, and great-grandmothers using to cook? you see that they actually survive without these things. And like, I can't remember the person who said this. Now he said, but don't eat what your grandmother will not call food. There are a lot of things we eat these days that our grandparents don't even know they exist because of the innovation we have brought. Truth is, innovation is good, but with innovation comes some other consequences and disadvantages, and it's important to know what innovation has brought along with it. And that's why you see we go all natural as much as possible. Here we have you see this is not looking so appealing, well, because it was frozen and then I had to defrost. So here we have unripe bell pepper, and then we have unripe habanero pepper, and then we have the dried chili pepper coarsely blended together with a bit of onions, and then here we have ginger and garlic. All of this is going into the pot for the OFADA sauce. Here we have smoked fish. So instead of using any other kind of animal protein, we decided to go with smoked fish for this recipe. We want to eat less fattening meals, and then we want to reduce our cholesterol level as much as possible. So this is frying long enough, and I'm just going to add this to the pot. So here you have it. Habanero pepper is rich in capsaicin, and capsaicin contains plant-based compounds that can help fight cancer and other kinds of ailments. While bell pepper is also very rich in vitamin C and vitamin K1. There are many benefits attached to eating this ingredient, having this kind of meals in your home. So for someone who is wondering, oh, they say I shouldn't eat this, they say I shouldn't eat this, so what can I eat? Here it is in front of you, healthy and at the same time tasty. Because the mission of this program is to strike a balance between healthy and tasty meals. So we are here to show you that it's possible to go healthy and also have tasty meals. Don't forget, we have told you before in this program that our aim is to make you also save some time in the kitchen so you have enough time to rest. That's why we most times do things simultaneously. You notice now I have the OFADA sauce on the fire. I am going straight to also put this rice on the fire so that the two of them will be ready at about the same time. That way I'm saving the time I am spending in the kitchen. But before I go on to wash and cook the rice, I want to add my ginger and garlic into the pepper mix on the fire. So I'll cover and allow to cook for a while I go ahead to wash and cook the rice. So here I have the rice. I'm just going to turn this for washing. Okay, so while this is still on the fire, done washing the rice, and I'm just going to go ahead to cook the rice. Okay, so you have the rice. Just going to add a pinch of salt to this while I boil, and then okay. So for somebody who is watching me and is wondering, why OFADA rice? OFADA rice is locally grown rice in Nigeria, and grown mostly in western Nigeria. And It is very rich in fiber. In fact, it has twice the fiber you find in white rice. It helps to lower cholesterol level. It is a good choice of rice for people who have diabetes, and then it aids digestion. And then, of course, OFADA rice contains selenium, and selenium helps in fighting colon and breast cancer. For these many reasons, I can encourage you to take OFADA rice, especially if you're looking for a rice option with low carbohydrate, high fiber intake. Then this is a good choice for you, except otherwise you've not been recommended to take this. So here we have the pepper mix still on the fire. We've not added anything, so we have the pepper mix, and then I'm just going to add the fish to it, our smoked fish that we're using for cooking. So it will cook together to cook along other ingredients. And then also I'm going to add our fermented locust beans that has been blended into powder. And this one I'm using is from Kogi State, Nigeria. It's about the same thing with the first one we used. The difference is in the production. So sometimes I like to combine the two, especially for recipes like this where I'm not using artificial seasoning. So the two of them would come together and give me that flavor that I want. So I'll just stir this and then cover, allow it to continue to fry for a few minutes before I come back to check on it again. Don't forget, this program is open to sponsorship and partnership. Our numbers are scrolling, and then of course our social media handles will scroll. We also like you to like our page, comment, and then of course subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and our other social media handles. There's still so much more to learn. And if you do not have this book in your library, Make Your Food Your Medicine. It's a book I authored a couple of years ago. Now, this is the second edition. The first edition sold out in no time. And this book has over 25 alkaline-based recipes here, including this particular one we're making today. So what's my encouragement? Get a copy of it. You're going to learn so much more. And if you have issues with breaking or bad eating habit, we have addressed that in this book. People are calling for this book from all over. It's a good gift you give to yourself, to a friend, to a family member, to an aged parent, and then of course to anyone who needs it. Okay, so we'll check this. So we have the OFADA. You notice it's very dry. That's because we added very minimal oil, because we're trying to reduce the quantity. So if you notice, look at the pot, you'll see that you can't find oil flowing in the pot as well. So we're going to add a pinch of salt, just a little bit of salt, Malayan pink salt, and then we're going to add our fish mix because it's ready at this time. Fish mix is a combination of crayfish, dried fish, different kinds of dried fish, and then of course the dried prawn as well, mixed together to give it that sweet taste. Don't forget, we have made this without artificial seasoning. And then of course our rice is still here. See, almost ready. So here we have it. Our OFADA sauce. We're just waiting for the rice to be tender enough, and then once that is done, our food is ready. So it's time to check our rice to see how well our rice is doing. So rice is ready, and then we're just going to have a taste of the OFADA sauce, and then of course the OFADA rice. Okay, so here you have it, OFADA rice with OFADA sauce with very minimal palm oil. So it's something you want to try out on your own at home. So I'm just going to have a taste of what we have here and tell you how it is until you try yours. You truly can't tell. It's a bit spicy because if we add enough palm oil in it, it would have helped a lot to reduce the pepper, level. But because we used very minimal palm oil, so it's a bit spicy. So, thank you for joining me. Don't go anywhere. We're moving on to the Juice Kitchen, where I'm going to show you something very interesting. Our numbers are scrolling. You like to partner with us, you like to sponsor this program, please call us. Our numbers are scrolling. Send us a message on WhatsApp. Reach out to us. We'll be glad to hear from you. And then if you do not have this book in your library, Make Your Food Your Medicine, you're missing out a whole lot. I authored this book a couple of years ago. First edition sold out in no time, and this is the second edition, and you don't want to miss having this in your library. It's a good gift for someone also this period. So give us a call. We can deliver it to you where you are. Thank you again for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We are moving on to the juice kitchen. We are actually having a series. We've been talking about water for a while now, and I'm still going to show you something interesting again in the juice kitchen this week. So don't go anywhere. Don't change that dial. Call your neighbor, call your friends to join you as we go ahead into the juice kitchen.